Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Thursday, June 15th, around 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 2023. Take a look at this. A record 5 gigatons of ice building on Greenland during the melt season. You won't see that on mainstream media, but the big story: storm knocks out power to more than 100,000 across the south, with high winds and at least 8 reported tornadoes. Keep calm. It's boom time. Take a look at some of the damage here. A building damaged in Henry County, Alabama. According to the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center, 5 million people in parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and Georgia were under enhanced risk for storms into the morning hours of Thursday. There were 150 high wind reports across the South as of Wednesday night, including 82-mile-per-hour winds in Cleveland, Mississippi, faster than the 74-mile-per-hour threshold for hurricane-force winds. Brooksville, Mississippi reported 5-inch hail Wednesday evening, and there was 4-inch hail in Doe Run, Georgia, and Crystal Springs and Slabtown in Arkansas. So I hope they had their helmets on. Now, the severe weather also pounded Tallahassee, downing trees and knocking out power to 22,000. Oh, there are some of the tornadoes there, and the tornado watches have been issued. So as of earlier today, there's about 100,000 people in the Southwest without power. Let's refresh this and see if they're doing any better. Yes, they got some of that power back on. Now just about 60,000 without power in the South. Severe weather is expected from Colorado to South Carolina. Let's take a look at some of those warning maps. Here is the severe storm threat. You can see the significant threat there in Oklahoma City, but it extends all the way from Colorado to Florida. So heed the warnings from your local advisories. Here is the large hail threat and the tornado threat. So that hail is then this Oklahoma City in the center of the crosshairs for all of the threats. Tornado watch is issued in the South as severe weather outbreak continues. And here is those counties: Evergreen, Dothan, Dawson, Tifton, Valdosta, Tallahassee, Panama City, Pensacola, and Mobile. Likely flash flooding, possible tornadoes, possible damaging winds, and possible large hail. So heads up in those regions. As intense hail battered Arkansas, we said 4 and 5-inch hail in that region. Take a look. This is some footage from a lake. Oh, mackerel. Imagine getting stuck out on the lake during this event. This is Lake Washita in Arkansas. That is boom time. Very dangerous situation there. Oh. Amazing footage there. Here is, in fact, what was going on yesterday, the hail map for Wednesday, June 14th. There were almost 100,000 reports of hail 1 inch to 2 inches or larger. So take a look at that. Hail is, well, reaching a crescendo. And bad news for this year's peach crop in South Carolina and Georgia, thanks to the weather. They're blaming this on global warming, but it's actually, for many of them, freak cold snaps. They didn't get enough chilling hours because it was a warm winter, but then there was a freak frost in the Northeast as well, as federal assistance is sought for northeastern vineyards and orchards hit by a late frost. This coming from the Associated Press out of Shelburne, Vermont. Here's the full forecast. Significant damaging wind and large hail threat in the south central plains today. Widespread severe thunderstorms associated with damaging wind gusts, large hail, and a few tornadoes are expected this afternoon into tonight across parts of the southern and central plains. So heads up. Hailstones greater than 2 inches in diameter with wind gusts above 80 miles per hour will be possible along the more intense parts of the fast-moving line of storms. Oklahoma looks like it was in the crosshair, but click on your county for more information. Now, a big shout out to Cap Allen over at Electroverse, posting our new Zarkova interview, as well as the rest of the research he does there. Coldest May on record north of 80 degrees north. Historic Greenland snow and ice gains we just shared with you right there. Take a look at that. 5 gigatons of ice building. That is a record number all time. And this is during the first week of the melt season. So records being broken in Greenland. Now we'll quickly take a look at the smoke map. Move it back to today. You could see Montreal and Ottawa are going to be quite hazy, as well as portions of Maine. Look at that. Boom, popping up in the next 48 hours. And some of that smoke's going to move its way down towards the Pacific Northwest. So if you're wondering where that hazy smoke is coming from, those are fires in Alberta and British Columbia making its way all the way down towards Sacramento and Las Vegas in the next 2 days. Deep 6.2 magnitude earthquake shakes parts of the Philippines. Good news, it was deep. And that means there was no damage and no injuries. There it is, lighting up the map. The only significant quake on the world seismic map here. No other quakes to note. There is this one just popping off, 7.2 south of the Fiji Islands. That wasn't up there when we started the show. No tsunami warning right now for the magnitude 7 earthquake. Just kicking off here in Fiji. Let's get a closer look where that is. And there is no tsunami warning or threat. That's just south of Tonga in the middle of nowhere. So that is a big boom, 7.2 south of Fiji, but a deep quake, 167.4 kilometers. Let's hope that's not a precursor to a larger quake up near the surface. And there is no tsunami warning or threat. Worldwide volcano news update. We've got Santiaguito, Fuego, Popo, Chivalush, Kilauea, Mayon, Sangay, and Sabancaya. Now, Mayon puffing out to 11,000 feet in the last 24 hours. Showing signs of uptick there. Popo to 18, Suanos Hema to 6,000. And Kilauea volcano update. The spatter cone in the southwest wall continues to feed the lava lake. Fissure vents within the lake have ceased. So there's only one source of lava feeding the lake currently. Over to space weather news. Looks like a high-level sea flare occurred earlier. Let's take a look at some of the telemetry. CME tracker showing no Earth-directed CME events detected, so that's good news. Would have been a small event anyway. We are waiting for some enhancement of geomagnetic activity due to coronal hole 12, which should couple with Earth anytime now. Now, a lot of people are using fossilized tropical forests in the Arctic as evidence for their cockamamie doomsday scenarios, like the tilting of the Earth happening at a regular interval every 12,000 years or something. The only problem with that is just 5 minutes of cursory investigation into what these tropical forests actually mean actually disproves their theory. These lycopsid forests are from the early late Devonian. They're 360 million years old, and there are no tropical forests in the Arctic that are any younger than this. This is the youngest tropical forest in the Arctic, meaning that the Arctic was near the equator around 360 million years ago, and the Earth doesn't tilt. Now, this is a great paper coming out February of last year, World Atmospheric CO2 and its carbon-14 specific activity. What they found in this paper is not being published by the mainstream media, but there is not a single paper peer-reviewed that shows that CO2 warms the Earth. Did you know that? But there are dozens of papers disproving that concept, and this is one of them. Here in the abstract, our results show that the percentage of the total CO2 due to the use of fossil fuels from 1750 to 2018 increased from 0% in 1750 to 12% in 2018. This is much too low to be the cause of global warming. Now, I hope you're growing food. I hope you're growing your own food. And if you are, here is 10 do-it-yourself cucumber fertilizers that you can use on all of your flowering plants. Excellent article from balconygarden.web. Bone meal fertilizer, worm castings, kelp meal fertilizer, wood ash fertilizer, cottonseed meal fertilizer, coffee grounds and tea leaf fertilizer, alfalfa pellets, blood meal fertilizer, pet or human hair fertilizer, and Epsom salt fertilizer. So check out the article. All the links will be below. And if you want to hang out with Diamond and Leah, We're going to be in Crestone early this year for the 4th of July celebration. Crestone Energy Fair doesn't happen until mid-September this year, so it might be kind of chilly and beautiful up there. But Lee and I are going to be hanging out at the 4th of July celebration in Crestone all day. It's a dance party and a music festival. And they even have an old-fashioned soapbox derby. Take a look at this, full size. Humans get in there. It's a super fun day. Support the community, support the San Luis Valley, support Crestone, and come out to the 4th of July celebration and hang out with Diamond and Leah. And that's a boon to knowledge. I hope you got something out of the video. Please share this video as we are shadow banned and we need your help to grow. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give us a thumbs up. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. We love you. Be safe.